everyone, Eileen Bayer, the fam here. Welcome to another video on epilepsy. In this video we are going to be covering does epilepsy occur more often in people of certain races or ethnic backgrounds, and what causes epilepsy. And excuse me, before we begin, I just want to let you know I do have somewhat of a head cold, so if my voice sounds a little different, please forgive me. But I want to get this out. I haven't done one since Thursday. I went away for the weekend and came back Monday and had to get caught up on some housework and get some things done, so I'm not getting this out until today. So, saying that, let's get started here. Does epilepsy occur more often in people of certain races or ethnic backgrounds? Well, some differences in how epilepsy occurs has been seen in a few studies, whereas a review research has shown that racial differences in epilepsy suggests that, yes, epilepsy is more common in people of Hispanic backgrounds than in non-Hispanics. In active epilepsy, which means that a person's seizures are not completely controlled, is more common in whites than in blacks. The number of people who develop epilepsy over a lifetime, called lifetime prevalence, is higher in blacks than in whites. But also an estimated 1.5% of Asian Americans are living with epilepsy today. The causes of these differences is unknown. It may be related to social and economic factors or the ability of people to get health care. For example, people with lower social status may be at a higher risk rate of developing seizures and epilepsy because they can't get the proper medical care. Differences in where and when people get health care for their epilepsy has been found for people of different racial backgrounds. These differences lead to what is called a treatment gap. It's possible that this treatment gap is part of the reasons for racial differences in epilepsy. Now, let's go over what causes epilepsy, which I have up here, some of the causes of it. And just to let you know, epilepsy is more than just seizures. It affects all this. And that's why I put these two up here. But as you can see in what causes epilepsy, it's head injury, brain infection, brain tumors, brain surgery, stroke, Alzheimer's. There's a whole big list. And we're going to go over some of them a little bit in detail to let you know. This way you have a better understanding of epilepsy, so you can see what it's like, and it's not, you'll have an understanding, so you're more informed, you understand better, so you can help someone that you love or are close to that has epilepsy. And if not, with your understanding, you can start seeing with your heart and not your eyes. Okay? Causes of epilepsy vary by age of the person. Some people with no clear cause of epilepsy may have a genetic cause. Excuse me. But what's true of every age is that the cause is unknown. For about half of everyone with epilepsy, some people with no known cause may have a genetic form of epilepsy. One or more genes may cause the epilepsy, or epilepsy may be caused by the very same genes that work in the brain. And what that's saying is their genes may be normal, but for some reason it works differently in the brain, and that could cause it. It's not known yet on exactly what causes epilepsy. So as you can see from these series that we've been doing, a lot of mental health issues, the causes of them are unknown. So for us to sit there and prejudge somebody is so wrong, because we don't know the path that person's walking on. We have not walked a mile in their shoes. We don't know what their life was like. Okay? The relationship between genes and seizures can be very complex, and genetic testing is not available yet for many forms of epilepsy. About 3 out of 10 people have a change in the structure of their brains that causes the electrical storms of seizures. Some young children may be born with a structural change in the area of the brain that gives rise to seizures. Excuse me. About 3 out of 10 children with autism spectrum disorder may also have seizures. The exact cause and relationship is still not clear. So see, even with autism, you can have seizures. It is very complex. Infections of the brain are also common causes of epilepsy. The initial infections are treated with medication, but the infection can leave scarring on the brain that causes seizures at a later time. People of all ages can have head injuries. Those severe head injuries happen most often in young adults. In middle age, strokes, tumors, and injuries are more frequent. In people over 65, stroke is a common cause of new onset seizures. Other conditions such as Alzheimer's disease or other conditions that affect the brain functions can also cause seizures. So you see, there is a lot on when a seizure can hit. Different ages. Infant can be born with that problem in the brain where the electric storms happen, to young children, to teenagers, to young adults, to older adults, to the elderly. Pretty much, if you have a brain, you can have a seizure. Anybody with a brain can have a seizure. Okay? Epilepsy can hit anybody. It's not something to laugh about. We all need to be aware of it and know what to do. Excuse me. There's just so much involved. And as you can see by this picture, it gives the person that has a seizure, they get memory loss, they get bullied a lot, which when they get bullied could be the last straw that breaks the camel's back, where they themselves feel so bad that they want to end their lives. We don't want that. We want to lift people up, not tear them down. Okay? They have side effects, all of this is what goes on with them. And look at all the causes of epilepsy. High fever in children, certain medications can cause it, drug abuse, trauma during birth, alcohol abuse, Alzheimer's. There's just so many things that can cause it. That's why I say in every video I do, don't judge people. When you when you judge by these, you're not seeing the true picture. Can you judge a book that you're reading just by the title of the book? Of course you can. Have you ever gone to a movie and seen the preview of the movie? When they show the previews of it, that preview catches your attention. It draws you in. But then when you go see the movie, it's nothing like what the preview was. As a matter of fact, in most movies, the part that they show in the preview is taken out of the movie for some reason. I don't know. But that's what happens when you see with your eyes. You're prejudging. You're going by what these see. And these can lie, because all they see is a shell. They don't see any of this, anything going on. And a lot of mental health issues, people look at them and, oh, you look perfectly normal. You look fine to me. When they're not, because it's on the inside. It's a mental injury. Excuse me. I shouldn't have been doing this video, but it's been a while and I wanted to get this one out and keep going. When I'm done, I'll just take another cough drop because my throat's a little scratchy from talking. I'm trying to teach each and every one that sees these. If they don't know about any of these mental illnesses and it brings light to them, then they can learn to see with their hearts and not their eyes, because the heart sees what's inside. The eyes only see the shell. So, if we can learn to see from inside out, the world will be much better. We'll be happier. We'll touch people. We can save lives. Okay? So please remember, everybody, see with your heart and not with your eyes. And until the next video in a couple of days, I love you. Have a great day.